Hey everybody, it is Wednesday. This video was supposed to be uploaded yesterday, but I had a lot of stuff going on. I came home with a headache, and then I wasn't home. My husband's home this week, so I'm trying to spend as much time as I can with him before he goes back to work. This week's topic was using a pre-written spell versus writing your own spells. I will say that I've been doing this probably since I was really doing this since I was 17 or 18 is when I really was able to kind of start delving in a little bit deeper, especially once I moved out at 20, but we're going to go with about 18 or so when I started reading. When I first started, I got a few of Scott Cunningham's books, and I got a couple of Buckland's Candle Magic books, because that's what I was really interested in first. And when I first started, I was all about, I didn't want to screw anything up. So I did do like cleansing spells and things like that. And most of the time I did them as close to what the book said as I could for the situation that I was in. So as I got older and the more I started to practice, and I'll tell you too, doing the spells and the candle work and the cleansing rituals and all of that, that I did not write, I will tell you that they did not work as well. They didn't work at all, or I was very uncomfortable reading it because something felt off for me. And then the longer I practiced, and I did have a lull of when I just didn't practice anything. When I came back, I started writing my own spells. And I noticed that with my own spells, I was more confident, more comfortable, and my turnout was better. And the more confident and comfortable I got, the better my turnout was. So while I absolutely understand the ways of using a spell that's written in a book, and doing it verbatim because you're scared that things will turn out wrong, there's a lot to be said for even looking at those spells and going, okay, well, I don't really like that word. I don't really like how that's worded. So I'm going to kind of take this idea and do it myself. Hang on one second. I've got my dog trying to jump on my altar. Come here. Oh my gosh. She has never attempted to jump on an altar before, and she sure enough was going for it. Anyway. If you have a spell that you're interested in using and you find yourself not drawn to a word, or finding yourself a little bit maybe anxious about using it because it doesn't seem right, don't. Change it. Follow your intuition when it comes to that. There is no set rule that says you can't, but if you're not comfortable, then don't. And if you feel like you would be more comfortable changing some things around, do that. And if you feel like you just want to kind of look at that spell and use it as a guideline and completely come up with a new spell, do that too. This is your craft. This is your, work. And you should take it and make it your own. And I've always kind of felt that taking and reading someone else's work is, even though you have your intentions match the intentions that they said the spell is for, you don't know what that spell was for. So, it may be finding love and drawing love into you, but you don't know what the full intention of that was. The person who wrote that spell, were they in love with someone else, and that was who they were, someone else's husband or wife, and that's who they were trying to draw in. So is there negativity attached to that spell? You don't know. And if you hear noise, there is chaos going on behind me. My chihuahuas are playing. But you don't know what they were attaching to that spell. So sometimes it is just better to just kind of take it as a guideline and just do your own thing. I've always found that my results are better if I do that. When it comes to looking at the ingredients that some spells have, you can substitute some. I would not substitute just any random thing. Here recently, there was something that called for mint, and I did not have plain mint, but I did have peppermint. So I did use that in exchange for the mint, and made sure that it was going to work out okay before I put it in. But I mean, there are some things, but make sure you research it. And so if you are going to substitute some items because you don't have what a certain spell is calling for and you're trying to create your own, make sure that you're still researching. In the same way with, if you decide that you're going to reword your spells and just use it kind of based off of someone else's, make sure that you're wording it well, that you're precise in your wording, that you're clear in what you want. Because sometimes you may have it in your head a certain way, but you word it wrong and you send out the wrong thing. So really the bottom line is you do what makes you comfortable. You don't have to use a spell verbatim. You don't have to create your own spell if you're not comfortable yet. If you're still learning and you feel more comfortable going into a book and just grabbing a spell and working with it, do that. Do what makes you comfortable, because that's what this is about, and you can't learn until you do. So that is my advice for you. That is how I do mine, and let me know in the comments how you do yours. So until next week, blessed be.